We all think we know Red Bull, the can that fuels cliff dives, sky jumps, and 3 a.m. study sessions. But what if I told you Red Bull isn't really an energy drink company at all? It's something way bigger. Because while you've been cracking open that little silver blue can to stay awake, Red Bull's been quietly building one of the most powerful media empires on Earth. And that's the secret. They don't just sell caffeine, they sell attention. So how did a $2 energy drink turn into a $1 billion marketing machine that makes more from culture than cans? Let's find out. Red Bull's founder may have been Austrian, but it was born in Thailand. Back in the 1980s, an Austrian salesman named Dietrich Mateschitz landed in Bangkok and discovered something strange. A small brown bottle called Kreatin Dang, a syrupy energy drink used by Thai truck drivers to stay awake on brutal overnight hauls. In a country where driving a truck was basically an extreme sport, this stuff was gold. No fizz, super sweet, and packed with caffeine and taurine. The original Red Bull. But Mateschitz didn't just taste the drink, he saw the opportunity. Instead of copying it, he partnered with its creator, Chalio Yuvitaya, and together, they re-engineered it for the West. They added bubbles, built the new brand, and launched it under a name the world would never forget, Red Bull. With that came a simple promise. Red Bull gives you wings. But here's where things got genius. Mateschitz wasn't just selling caffeine in a can, he was building a movement. Red Bull didn't waste millions on TV ads or billboards. They spent it creating culture, sponsoring daredevil athletes, launching people off cliffs, and turning adrenaline into an identity. From flug tag events, where people literally try to fly homemade planes, to space jumps from the edge of Earth's atmosphere, Red Bull made itself synonymous with risk, energy, and ambition. They weren't selling a drink, they were selling belief. And that belief built on one of the most powerful lifestyle brands on the planet. In the 1990s, there were no extreme sports to sponsor, because extreme sports didn't even exist yet. So, what did Red Bull do? They invented them. They built their own playgrounds. Red Bull Rampage, where mountain bikers defy gravity. Red Bull Flug Tag, where people launch homemade flying machines off cliffs. Red Bull Air Race, where planes turn the sky into a racetrack. Red Bull didn't waste time buying ad slots on ESPN. Red Bull became ESPN. They owned the story, the visuals, and the audience, and soon ESPN was paying them for coverage. Every snowboarder doing flips mid-air, every skydiver jumping from the stratosphere was a living, breathing commercial for Red Bull that no one realized they were watching. And then, they took it to the edge of space. In 2012, Red Bull pulled off one of the most insane marketing stunts in human history. Felix Baumgartner's space jump. A man literally falling from the edge of the atmosphere. 9 million people watching live on YouTube, most of them holding that same silver blue can. No slogan, no sales pitch, just a can of Red Bull floating beside the stratosphere. In that moment, Red Bull didn't just advertise, they told a story. They became the story. And that story turned a simple energy drink into the official fuel of athletes, dreamers. By the late 2000s, Red Bull made a truly bold move. It created Red Bull Media House, its own studio and media production house. It covered movies, documentaries, magazines, podcasts, esports broadcasts, everything made in-house, on message, and hyped on its high energy brand. Because Red Bull figured something out early. Why pay for ads when you can create content people actually want to watch? And it worked. Their YouTube channel alone pulls in hundreds of millions of views, not from commercials, but from pure entertainment. At this point, Red Bull isn't a drink company that does marketing. It's a media company that happens to sell a drink. So just how many energy drinks can a media-focused company sell? Quite a lot, actually. These days, Red Bull sells over 12 billion cans a year in more than 170 countries. Pretty impressive, right? Except that's basically just their side hustle. Because Red Bull's real money comes from owning 2 Formula 1 teams, Red Bull Racing and Racing Bulls, plus soccer clubs, music festivals, record labels, and even entire sports leagues. Every one of these ventures runs on the same playbook. Create content, gain attention, dominate culture, sell more drinks. It's a self-feeding loop, a marketing flywheel powered by adrenaline and myth. Because at this point, Red Bull doesn't do advertising anymore. The entire world has become Red Bull's billboard. When you open your next Red Bull, you're not just drinking a tasty energy drink, you're drinking an entire culture. Because Red Bull stopped just selling energy, it sells identity. It has created a whole ecosystem of extreme sports, maximum performance, and competition between elite athletes. Red Bull was chosen by one visionary as the answer to the question, how can I feel less tired? And in the end, he made his fortune answering the question, how can I feel everything? Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and check out the video on the screen for more insights just like this.